Hello everyone, LauraKBuzz here, and today I'm giving you some hands-on impressions on Roller Champions. It's kind of sort of a roller derby game, but also with a ball. I will talk about this in a minute. A demo got put out during E3, and this demo is only available for a couple of days. I think it's until the 14th of June, so by the time this video goes up you might have a day or so to play it. I have already played this demo to the level cap. I play roller derby in real life. I really fucking love roller derby. So I wanted to give this a go ever since it got sort of leaked with key art images. So let's talk about the differences quickly between this and actual roller derby. I play in the UK with the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, who tend to play on flat tracks as opposed to banked tracks. Also, there's not usually a ball. Usually you score points basically by having your point-scoring player do a lap of the other players. If it, get through their wall, the more players you pass, the more points you get. But I think, stylistically, this generally keeps with the tone of roller derby. Even if there's things like, in real roller derby, you're not allowed to go clockwise around the track. You're not allowed to contact someone by hitting them in the back. You're not allowed to go head-on collision into them. It's sideways collisions only. But again, I think that this does manage to generally capture the nature of a roller derby. You've got a small team. Here it's 3. Usually in roller derby it's more like 4. And the best way to play this is to stick with your pack, because they are your defense, your offense. If you've got the ball, you need them getting rid of the other players, keeping them out your way so that you can score, so that you're not hit. Hooray, I scored a goal there. Let's explain how scoring works. I got 1 point for throwing that ball through the hoop. You need to have the ball, or your team needs to have the ball, go over the starting line, and then do a full lap of the track before you can put the ball through the hoop. You get 1 point if you do 1 lap before you throw it in, 3 points if you do 2 laps, and you get 5 points if you do 3 laps before throwing it in. If at any point you drop the ball and the other team picks it up, the progress on how many laps you've done goes away. So there is an incentive to throw it in when you've gone round once, because you at least get some points. It's riskier to go for the 5 points, but 5 points is all you need to win. You've got a 7-minute game. So if you can do a circuit of 3 as a team, you can win the match with a single goal score. And I think that's what we go for here in this match. What you'll see here is I'm sort of skating opposite to the direction of Derby, because I want to make sure I'm ahead of the player who's got the ball. I failed to do it there, but what I was hoping is they could throw the ball forwards to me. That would get us sort of further ahead on track. It would keep us going with better momentum. So I don't try and do head-on collisions here, because it's hard to get the hit if you're both moving quickly at other directions. But by making sure I was in front of the pack, when the ball passed, I was ready to be right behind the person with the ball, do a bit of contact, get the ball, get us moving. So we now have momentum. You want to be up the top of this flat track, because basically if you hold down the left trigger you can sort of speed down through the curves. I dropped the ball there, but my teammate picked it up, which meant we didn't lose our progress around trying to get 3 laps, which I think we do successfully in this game. There's a real gut instinct when you start playing this game to try and be the point scorer all of the time. They are the player that gets all the glory. But as you will see in a second, playing the defense or offense and protecting your point scorer is really valuable. Look here, I just knocked out that orange player, completely cleared the way for my blue skater. They now don't have to worry about anyone taking them out right now. As you'll see again in a second, we're about to finish this 3rd lap. There is an orange player waiting, because near that net is the perfect place to knock people out, because they have to slow down, they can't dodge while they're aiming for a throw. I took out the only person who was a threat to our point scorer. He managed to get 5 points in a single throw. That's great. You'll see in the way that this game is scored, it definitely rewards you more for a team win than an individual win. You do get points for getting goals, but by far the most points are if your team wins. It emphasizes your fan base growing based on did your team do well? Stick together as a team. Don't always fight for the glory. It is just as important to be a meat shield standing near your point scorer so that if someone tries to tackle them, you're getting in the way. It's just as important to be taking out the other team's players so that they don't have a chance to knock out your point scorer. It's easy to overlook that, but I think that's what this gets really right about roller derby as a sport, is this idea of quick, counterclockwise skating game where only one person at a time can be scoring points, and as a result, you just kind of have to make sure that the rest of your team stick together, stick on point, focus on doing the jobs that aren't as glamorous, that help to keep the flow of momentum in your team's favour. So there's a couple of other things, like clearly the outfits you're wearing are not regulation roller derby outfits. There's a lot of players you'll see on inline skates, which is just not a thing in roller derby. We all wear quads, basically just because, extra width of wheels and extra sets of wheels laterally makes it much less likely that you get knocked over. There is no blocking mechanic in this, which in actual roller derby, you could be hit and stay on your feet if you're bracing for it. There doesn't seem to be any way to brace for impact and stay on your feet when you're hit. I would really like it in the final release if when you do this crouch to speed up, if that made it more difficult to knock you over as a result. So yeah, in this round, I think I managed to get the 3-lap 5-pointer. It's one of only a couple I've had. It's definitely not what I tend to go for. In standard play, I tend to go for, like, oh, I've done the lap, I've got a point open to me, get the point. Going for the full 5 points, I have played hours and hours and hours of this game and I've barely managed it, particularly if you're up against stronger players. That first match we watched at the indoor arena is an arena that's basically you being match made in the demo with stronger players. So the fact that we pulled that off is amazing, because usually getting around the track once with the ball is a bit of a minor miracle on that track. So yeah, as we see, the orange player tried to throw the ball forward to their teammate. They completely missed. That left it open to us. I think this is the start of our 3-lap circuit. Here we go. We've dropped the ball, but no one else has picked it up yet, which is good, because it means I can kick it up, and it's still the blue ball. We've not lost anything. Again, no orange players have touched it. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes the best... Oh, there we go. Sometimes the best thing to do is to just throw it forward, get it away from the pack, because, like, as long as orange don't catch up to touch it, you're fine. Yeah, it's really important that you remember get up on the top of the curved track and speed down. That is something I really was overlooking here. There's not a huge amount of mechanics at play. It's basically, if you don't have the ball, you can tackle or dash. If you have the ball, you can dodge. You can jump. You can speed through the corners like this. You have little emotes you can do, like you can do a celebratory backflip that doesn't do anything mechanically. I'm trying to think if there is even anything else. You can brake very suddenly if you need to. Generally, it is just... It's a big curved roller track. Sprint around, try and get through the opponent's wall, avoid contact. Like, this is all what a jammer or a point scorer does in actual roller derby. It's avoid contact, get around the track really fast without anyone being able to catch up with you. Rely on your teammates, or be the teammate that does this, to... get rid of the blocker, make openings, make walls. You need to work as a team to, like, clear the field open for that point scorer. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I have played this to the level cap already, and as a person who loves playing roller derby, I can't fucking wait for this video game. It's real fun. I don't usually care at all about online multiplayer-only games. I usually don't care about sports games. This changed my mind. It's really fun and frantic, and I would really highly recommend giving it a go. Once you get your head around it, it is a real blast, and I am so upset that in like a day or two I'm gonna have to stop playing this for a while. I want it now. I want it now. I want it now.